Hi everyone, I'm Thilsey and welcome to my ultimate Townie experiment. If you're new to this, welcome, and I'll explain what's going on in a second. But if you're coming back and you're familiar with this experiment, welcome back. I know that this was a very heavily requested, heavily missed experiment, so we are finally coming back. Sorry it took a second, but I was trying to kind of think of ways to spice up the format, but honestly we have a good thing going, so I'll just continue in this direction. But if you are new to this experiment, let me tell you what it is. So we have our little Tomarang here, the newest world in The Sims 4, so I'll be using it to basically combine every single townie into one sim in the end. So we can have like a midpoint of what every townie in this pack would look like in just one sim, which can get pretty interesting. And things will get a little bit weird with combining people who are related to each other and like all the different ages and stuff, so just ignore that part. This is just a little experiment to see how the genetics are kind of like distributed in this world, if there's any specific themes or specific eye shapes to carry over, hair colors, stuff like that. So we'll see what we end up with. And I did this for a lot of the worlds already at this point. I'll link you a playlist in the description, and eventually once I finish all of the worlds, we'll combine all of those results to get one ultimate townie of the entire Sims 4. But we're not there yet. Let's go back to Tomarang and we'll start with our first household, the only one that I'm familiar so far with because the sim in my For Rent Let's Play is living in this unit currently, and these sims here are her property owners, so those are the only townies that I know. So let's go visit Vanessa and Zafira and Cass. Here we are with them. We only have 2 female sims here, so it's going to be quite easy to do what we need. And yes, it is a little bit weird because they are technically related in game, but before I start these experiments, I remove all of the relationships from everyone so I can continue doing everything that I need without any things in the way. So just completely ignore that actual part of them being connected to each other in any way. Before we start, I do need to just age up Zafira, and now let's actually get started and combine Zafira's genetics with Vanessa. And since they are 2 female sims, I'm also gonna have them have a female child. I feel like those mixes are usually the best. Let's turn her around so we don't get any spoilers, and we'll just get like a good blend of their genetics together. So that is basically the point of everything that we're doing here. So let me just randomize once, and it's a bit of a coin flip. I was just about to say between black hair and brown hair, but it looks like black hair won, and that would be our sim. Let me just give you a name real quick. London. Let's age you up, London, and see what you'll be looking like. And now we can turn you around, and I mean, she's super pretty. I think that she looks mostly like Vanessa, but she is really pretty. Usually I would give everyone little CC makeovers in this, but I'm not gonna do that now because I realized that it's best to just leave them with what they age up with, because the game usually is relatively good at picking out hair textures and hair colors, eye colors, and everything really accurately if you don't involve CC. So I'm just gonna leave London as she is right now. So we can already move on to our second neighborhood here and start with a different household, which is a little bit bigger, our Bun Ma household. This is where it gets a little bit messier. We started with a very simple household, but this one has 4 sims. It's still gonna be pretty simple, but we have a little bit more work to do. But I decided to start with Kasem here and his wife, which would be Nin, and I'll also have them have a girl. So let me just turn you around and randomize once. There's also like black hair and brown hair things, so let's see what she's gonna be getting. Randomize once. Oh, still black hair. All right, interesting. So Marisol, let's age you up and see what you look like. Oh wow, those are some angry eyebrows, but I mean, she's cute besides the eyebrows. Now I need to be moving on to Sud and actually just age him up into a young adult, which also give us an opportunity to see what he looks like once he ages up in your game as well. Wow, those are some big pupils, but otherwise he's looking pretty alright. Angry eyebrows, but what can you do? And I'll be combining Sud with our newly made sim Marisol. As I said, don't think about it too hard, but technically yes, they are actually siblings, so the features are quite similar, so I feel like we'll get a sim that still looks pretty similar to them. And they will be having a boy, so let me randomize him once. Of course, there are not really any surprises. We know the hair color, we know the eye color, but let me give you a name. Van, let me age you up. I think that he's gonna look very angry. Oh, actually he looks kind of kind. Whoa, that mouth is wide. Where did that come from? See, this is why I do these experiments. Well, Van, I will need to combine you with Bua, but I do need to age her down just so I can actually play with her genetics, and now I can do that and involve Van into the mix. I am really worried about that huge mouth though. And let me just turn you around, and they will also have a male child. So let's randomize once. He got gray hair. I'm not really sure what to do because Bua definitely didn't just have gray hair her entire life. I think I will change it. No, I'm not gonna change it to black. You know what? Yes, genetically it's supposed to be black, but this Townie has gray hair. I think I'm just gonna keep it gray. That kind of makes sense. I'm representing Townies as they look currently. So no, I will not be changing it. Usually I think I would have changed it to black, but I feel like it's more accurate to leave it gray. Anyway, let me just give you a name. Harvey, and you need to be a young adult. And that's the final sim of the Bun Ma household. So let's turn you around. And yeah, I mean, it's not really a big surprise. He looks quite sweet, honestly. He's not really angry looking, which I like. Those pupils are really huge. Oh, and the mouth. We managed to get away with it that he doesn't have it. So that's really good. He just has a really cutesy face. So moving on from them, we are already kind of at the finish line. Let's go to our final property where we have two households. And this one is just one sim in the Lin household. And I'll leave her alone for now, and I'll bring her into the mix a little bit later. Yes, her genes will most likely dominate because she is going to be like 1/4 of our concoction, but it's the most fair thing to do. So let's move on upstairs to Linh-Sadya household where we have a lot of sims again. Again, big household, a lot of relations, but not any in this experiment, so don't worry about that. I know it's a bit of a weird concept, but it's a really fun experiment. Anyway, we'll be starting with Chan here, and I'll be combining his genetics with his in-game husband, Arturo. Obviously, when I can, I like to keep the couples that are together actually together in this experiment, so you can at least also see what their genetics just look like in general, what their kids would be like. And these two are both male sims, so I will have them have a male child. That's usually the best approach in this. So let's just randomize him once. And he actually doesn't have like fully gray hair. Interesting. It's a little bit gray, I think. Tim, you are already a young adult, so let me just turn you around. Well, he looks really good. Like, he looks pretty good. I honestly like him. His face is like quite long, but other than that, I really like him. It's a really good looking male sim. So moving on to Cam, who needs to be aged up into a young adult. I'm kind of excited. I feel like she's going to be quite pretty. And she is. She's actually a very good looking sim, but unfortunately doesn't have any jaw. I think that would help her a lot. She just needs a bit of filler right here in this area. Otherwise, she's really pretty. So let's combine you with Tim here. Let me just turn you around, and you two will have a daughter. So let's randomize her once. Oh, and you got actual solid black hair. All right. I feel like it's the one that has a blue tint though. Not really sure how I feel about that, but let me give you a name. At least let's age you up. Oh yeah, it's definitely the one with the blue tint. Not really sure how I feel about it, but all right, let's see what we're working with. Whoa, your mother maybe didn't have any jaw, but you definitely do. Oh, that's annoying. She's like pretty and a good mix of the two. I can definitely tell it's like both sides represented, but I wish this was just a little bit smaller. Now let me just circle back to the actual members of the household and combine Leanne with her husband Alan, and these two will have a boy. So let me just randomize him once. Why do you have white hair? See, this is why CC is not good in this. Let's randomize one more time. See, the CC hair, especially Alpha, is messing with things so badly. Yeah, no matter how many times I randomize, I'm just getting CC Alpha hair specifically, so I'm just gonna have to pick one. So Andres, let me just age you up real quick, and let's see your face. I mean, you look alright, just maybe a little bit long and skinny, but otherwise you're fine. But I'm guessing because of your eyebrows, maybe that you're supposed to have, I don't know, your like mom's straight black hair. So let's just give you that because I can't leave this on him. It's gonna mess with the experiment way too much. So I'm just gonna give you a hair like that. And now we can move on to the final step for this household, which will be combining him with Elise. Oh, Elsie, sorry, I was reading that wrong the entire time. But let me turn it around. You two will have a boy. So let's randomize him once. Oh, you have no hair. I have no idea where that haircut is coming from, like a complete buzz cut. Interesting, maybe that's new from the pack. Let's give you a name, Eric. You're gonna be a young adult. Let me see what you're looking like. Well, honestly, he's not looking bad. Still a really long skinny face, but it's not that bad. It has a lot of potential. I feel like it got kind of balanced out with everything. But he is our final sim of this household, so we're really close to the end. And don't worry, I didn't forget. I said that I would circle back to this household, so let's go into cast and deal with that real quick. And I feel like the best approach here would maybe be combining you with the Linh-Sadya household that we worked on just now because they're all in one building. So it's kind of like the ultimate sim of that unit, if that makes sense. So I'm bringing back Eric real quick and I'm just going to be combining them. And considering that they share the Lin part of the surname, I guess that's one entire family. I'm not really familiar with the lore of them, but it's kind of interesting to mash the entire family into one sim and see what the strongest features are. But these two are supposed to have a boy, so that's correct. Let's randomize them once. No, the CC hair again. I'm just gonna go back to the one that we had. At least his hair was correct. Douglas, let me age you up and see what you're looking like. Well, it's not really a huge surprise, but he is looking a little bit more balanced out, or am I just trying to convince myself? I'm not really sure. He's not looking bad though. So now I'm just gonna be pulling back the Bun Ma household sim that we got, and I was gonna combine him with the sim that we just made, but the math wasn't mathing. I have like an entire little chart that I made myself, but I think that since he is a combination of the Lin and Linh-Sadya household, he's a combination of two households already. So I feel like the most fair thing to do right here would be to combine these two since they are two households. But I did want to combine Bun Ma with Linh-Sadya because they're in the same neighborhood, so it's like a one mashup of the neighborhoods. But this one is causing me issues because she's the only one from her neighborhood. Am I making any sense? These can get really tricky sometimes, but let's combine these two still. And they will have a girl, so let me just randomize her once. I feel like she has a potential to be really, really cute, but let's see. Ashley, let me age you up. Oh wow, pink hair, interesting. I guess I'm just gonna keep it that way then. And let me turn you around. Oh, no jaw. No jaw at all. That is such a shame. That's honestly such a shame. Otherwise she would have been really cute. But now you are coming back. I got really confused there for a second. I really thought I messed something up, but no, these challenges are just really hard to figure out sometimes. Anyway, let's turn you around, and I guess I'm gonna have these two have a girl. I haven't really thought too much about what the result of Tomarang overall should be. I can't remember the last world that I did was the result male or female. I like to do one of each per video, but I can't remember what the last one was, so let's just do a girl this time because it's a little bit more fun. So it's a nice way to come back to the challenge. But anyway, let's randomize once for our final sim of Tomarang, and that would be her. Let's give her a name, Brandy, and final age up of the video. Okay, straight black hair, interesting. And let's turn you around real slow to see what we're working with something good. She's actually cute. Wait, she's actually cute. I really like her. She's adorable. I love that. She's so cute. So we definitely reached a point where I'm gonna be giving her a little makeover with the stuff that just comes with the pack, I think, because I don't want to involve any CC in anything, and it's a nice way to explore the things that came with this pack. And honestly, all of the cast is really nice in here, so let's just give you a little makeover, a little outfit. There's something specific that I want to put on her that I did on one of my sims as like just a bit of a test to look at the cast items, and I really like the outfit, but I can't remember what it was all of a sudden. Oh, it was this top and the pants that are kind of my favorite in this pack, I think, which would be these. I love these pants so much, and these as well. These two are my absolute favorites. They're like so amazing. I think I used like these. This is such a cute little outfit. I love the colors. It's like so vibrant, but it just meshes well together. So good. And am I gonna bother with putting shoes on you that are from the pack? I guess that I should, so let's just go with something like that. Maybe that could be kind of colorful as well, so it's kind of matching the top. Oh, I like that. It's so cute. Now I want to give you just like a little hair that comes with the pack too, but I do need to keep maybe at the very least the hair texture, so it just needs to be straight hair, so I can't really give you something like that. But I could go with, I mean, I would like to do that, but it's maybe potentially confusing the game for future mashups of genetics, so maybe count this as curly even though it's not. So I'm gonna go with that maybe, or even this one or that one. Okay, no, that's not really like 100% straight hair, and she definitely is supposed to have that. It's a little bit longer than what she aged up with, but the length doesn't really matter. And I'm not gonna be even changing the eyebrows because I want to keep them thick because I want to leave the genetics as clear as possible. I used to mess with stuff too much, and now I'm kind of thinking that I've maybe messed up a lot of my older videos of this experiment, so they're not as accurate as they should be. I'm honestly kind of thinking of maybe potentially even redoing some of them just to make this experiment as accurate as possible. But I'm just going to be adding like a little bit of makeup at least now because that's not really going to be messing with things. And you know, I'm not a monster. I want to give her at the very least erase some eyelashes because she really needs them. That's not going to be messing with genetics at all, so it doesn't really matter. But she's just looking so much cuter now, and just like a little bit of blush. But that is our ultimate Townie of Tomarang. Let me know what to think of her. Is the result something that you expected? I feel like the eye color, skin color, and hair color were kind of obvious, but it's really interesting to see the actual little bits and details in the face. I love that she actually has a proportionate chin size and jaw size to the rest of her face. It came out really nice, I think, and it was a really big gamble if she's gonna get something that's a little bit strange, but I'm really glad that we kind of lucked out. The only thing that I don't personally like is how huge her eyes, especially pupils, are, but I feel like that's a very official Townie core sim style that is kind of expected in this experiment, and that's kind of what I'm going after, to see how much we can actually see those features come through. So let me know what you think, and I'm gonna be linking you the playlist of all the worlds that I did so far. But as I said, I think that I might actually redo a big chunk of them because the results are not as clean as this one, and I would like them to be as clean as possible before we get to the actual point where we are combining all of them, so we get the most accurate result possible in the end of the experiments. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss any future ones. Let me know which world you would like to see next that I haven't done so far. I still have a couple of missing, and I hope to see you in the next Ultimate Townie experiment and maybe some other videos as well. Goodbye!